Hello and welcome to Spy Money. It's our Tuesday evening market recap. What a day. Corona is all over the market. Corona is controlling the market. It is almost like basketball, slam dunk. Well, we ended up calling this out right. It's actually playing out. I thought it'd sell off more than what it has already. ES, we talked about this bear flag coming down. A lot of people were against what I was saying, saying that it was going to be calls and it was going to rally. I did not believe that. There were so many patterns on this, and everything pointed back to bearish. And I held them, stuck my guns, and got strong arms, and now we're starting to pay off. So my count is already up since closing. We actually halted 2 or 3 times through here. The Feds kept on shutting it down. And it's broke out this bullish channel, which is where I was hoping that would come out. And this right here should make my puts good. The only thing that would stop this from selling off any harder, which it should have already done, is the Feds pumping it. I think the Feds are involved right here. I think they're actually putting smaller amounts in. Between them and China, I don't really know who all's doing it. They don't say anything. No one tells us anything. They just say that we got this under control. Well, they're definitely controlling, because this should have sold off hard all day, and it hasn't. We did have this is on a 1 hour or 15-minute chart. We had a shoulder, head, shoulder, and boom. So this should really come way down. If I put this on a 1 minute or a 1 hour chart, this, in my opinion, should come down to the 1709. And let's see if I can get this loaded in there. I did this on our Discord group. If you are not part of our Discord group, you missed out. You need to get involved in order to know what we're talking about. We go over charts all day long. We talk about our trades. We do call outs. So whatever I buy and anybody else buys, we post it in there. When we sell it, we post it in there. So if you're interested in getting into that, not that I encourage following people, because I think you need to do your own due diligence, but if you're wanting to go in and see what we're trading, that's how you find out. We do not post this on YouTube or Facebook. If you want to know, you've got to join the Discord. There's a link down in the description below. What I looked at was, and I mentioned this morning on the briefing, this purple line represents the top of this bear flag. And then this purple line represents where it stopped. So from there to there was roughly 964 points. You can move it around a little bit, but that's pretty close, 964 points. On this one, the top of where we are now to the bottom of this fib line is roughly 924 points. So give or take 900 points is what both drops are. I don't have the chart in front of me, but there is a chart going around that shows from back in the Depression, back in the 30s, and also, I think it's the 30s, and also one back in '08 when we had it. The chart that we're looking at with these candles mirror both of those charts so close that it's almost, it's just eerie. I mean, it is almost like the same traders are right there, and probably are, but that's just how things work out. Charts don't lie. I mean, charts tell a story, and what you have to do is learn how to read the charts in order to know where the story is going. So right before there's an event that's going to take place on the news or whatever, you know it's coming before it comes. You just don't know what it is. In this particular case, it's coronavirus. That's what is going on. It's actually much larger than what we, the public knew about. And tonight, President Trump got on. He had the doctors up there. We're definitely going to be quarantined for 30 days. It's non-essential businesses. I got an alert on my phone a little bit ago. I'm in South Carolina. It came across and said that if you are a non-essential business, close immediately. It does not want you doing your business. So about the only thing that's essential would be your grocery stores, gasoline, stuff like that. So if you're in that kind of business, then you need to stay open. When you go to those gas pumps, it would not hurt you to get some latex gloves and just carry them in your car. And when you pump that gas, pump them with a latex glove and just be a little safer. Or put they've got paper towel dispensers out there. Just get you one of those and use that. Carry you some type of all we call the disinfectant stuff. I can't even think of the word. Purell. Get you some Purell or something like that so that you can keep your hands sanitized after you're out in the public or whichever. Another good thing that they said is if you're out and you're, say, grocery shopping or whatever, when you come home, take you a shower. Get your clothes in the washer, wash them real good, and take you a shower, get soap and water and everything. And they say that will get the germs off from you. Now, if that's not the case, you may want to do it anyway because maybe it's been a couple of days. So maybe you need a shower anyway. Same thing in New York. Yeah, New York is real bad right now. Florida's bad. Okay, yeah. So you all have got that same alert. Well, it can't. I'm in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. That's where everybody knows the name. But anyway, it's a ghost town. I took my truck and took my wife and daughter, and we drove down around the Ferris wheel and stuff today, and down through where all the little shops are that the people are just like standing room only. And there wasn't a single person out on the street. A couple cars, probably people like us that just wanted to see what was going on. So I think our area is pretty much doing what the governor wants us to do. They closed the beaches. We can't even walk out on the beach. And I walk out on the beach about every day and go for a little walk. We can't even do that now. You can't launch a boat. There's no boat ramps open. I mean, they've just shut down everything. No fun whatsoever. They want you to stay in the house and eat, drink beer, and watch Netflix. That's what we want to do. Now, I know some of you do a little more other drinking than beer, but that's the hardest I can get. Take your vitamins and a shot of whiskey. Yep, Lewis, I see that. And you went to work. Well, I've canceled a lot of jobs. I own another company, and I canceled a lot of jobs for now, and I told them that unless it is essential, then I won't be there. We'll wait till this blows over. It's just not worth it. I'm a full-time trader, but I have other businesses to run, and we are shutting down quite a bit of it. Some of them are online, so it's no big deal. So let's get back to ES. Where do I think it's going? Well, based on what I just told you, I believe if the feds don't get involved, which they are, I believe we're going to see the 1700. And the reason I say that is because of what I went over there a few minutes ago with the drops, those purple lines and so forth. It all makes sense, and I think that's where it probably should be. So I guess time will tell. I believe that if the feds get involved, I still think we're probably going to come down to at least the 23.53. There's going to be a pullback. The feds don't have enough money to just keep on pumping money into the market. I mean, there's an ending. They've got to let it drop, and once it drops, then the feds can come in and help out. Personally, I don't want to see it drop too far. There's a lot of people with the retirements and so forth there. They're getting ready to retire. But you know what? When it gets up there toward the top like it was, and you're getting close to retirement, you don't get greedy. You go and pull it out. I hate it for anybody that has lost money. Everybody in my trading group has lost some money on this ride down because at the top we were all on calls and so forth. So I believe that people have lost some money somewhere. I've made a lot of money on the way down, and I've made a lot of money through here. And it's because we chart things out and talk about it. So on this one, I believe that that's where we're going to go, is probably the 1700. It just depends on the government. I figured that when they halted this twice, I thought it was just going to just take off and probably jump, 200-300 points, and it never. So there's a good chance that they may stabilize it and just keep pumping the Fed money in. Then again, tonight it may sell off like nothing you ever seen before. I'm in puts, and I'm welcome to it selling off to 1700. Once it gets down there, I'm welcome to have them pump it up because I will be out. And I'll be in calls, and then I can ride it on the way up. So that is what I'm looking at. Gold sold off hard today. Looking at 425 this morning, and it just started selling off. And it come down, they got this little bear flag here, and then it started selling off again. We're trying to make another one. This is just going to keep on going. How far do I think it'll go? I'm going to give you a worst case scenario, and I'm going to tell you why. In 2008, that big old drop that we had, it went all the way down to in the 700 range, right on through there. Will this get down to the 700 range? I doubt it very seriously, but it wouldn't shock me that if it did, because look at this big old climb right here, and it dropped down, big old climb. I think we're definitely going to be down into the 1300 range because of this pennant, but I think we will actually bust through that pennant and come on down. I've been saying for a while that I think we'll be in the 1200 range. The 1234 is this fib line right here. But we could easily come down and bounce off the 1045. That is a support from where it came down before. We are on a lower high, and with this coming up, and this is a pennant. Being a pennant is not necessarily bullish or bearish. Pennants, you can never tell what's going to happen. There's no way in my mind that with all the bad news and everything we had, and the way this is selling off with the market, that this will not come on down and touch that. Now, if we look at it on the 15-minute, it come down, it's hit this pennant or the fib, and it's working through that. Now, I've got a channel drawn up here, and it come down, went through the channel, and then come back up. Now, will it continue to go on up? Very possible, maybe, but I just don't see how the market itself can actually hold with everything going on. Trump and the experts on the press conference tonight said that anywhere from 100 to 200,000 people are expected to be dead over the coronavirus in America. That's not over the world. That's America. I was actually impressed with their the conference of how that they were handling things. I was actually impressed with Trump, the way he kind of put aside his little attitude and was able to talk to the reporters. I was impressed with the reporters for actually stepping up. It was probably the best news conference that I have heard. Everybody seemed to get along. It was really good. There was a lot of good meaning coming out of it, and it was pretty long. There was a lot of detailed information. So if you haven't watched it, the whitehouse.gov/live was where it was at. So I think gold is going to keep on coming down. We talked about this in our Discord channel today. We charted all day long, just sending out charts what we thought. We had always consolidation, but we kept saying strong hands are the ones that are going to get the reward, and that's exactly what happened. Now we're just waiting on it to keep on dropping. I do believe we're going to be 1485 easy. I think we'll probably be there by tomorrow. Then we have CL. Crude oil pumped up but come back down, and he was talking about what he's going to do, and it's something to do with Russia and Saudi Arabia are having like a field day with all this, and the gasoline prices are real low, so that helps America. But the jobs that are out there with the crude oil that are actually pumping the oil, they're getting laid off right and left because the companies can't pump the oil up and sell it for break-even price. I think it's $20 a barrel is the break-even price for a company to, just make it. So they're laying off a bunch of people. There's someone that's in our Discord group that is in the crude oil business. That are out there on the, I guess the what do you call those? Not the ships, but those oil drilling rigs. So they're out there and they're probably going to get laid off. So anyway, I think crude oil is definitely going to drop more. I was thinking that we'd probably see the $15 range, $15.56, and I'm still holding to that. I think that's where we're going. It doesn't look like there's any relief from the government yet, so I think it's going to stay there. We have the dollar. The U.S. dollar is actually coming down today. It had a lot of consolidation. It's actually in a channel right now. If you look at this, right there and coming down to about right here. So it's actually trying to stay in this channel. It's probably going to come on down and touch the bottom here. So it's not as strong as what it was. Having the dollar up in this area is not really good for the economy. Coming on down is better. Dow Jones ended up slipping. I think it was 400 points it dropped today. 410.32 is what it dropped today. And the news was talking about how it was this first quarter of 2020 is the biggest or the worst quarter that we've had in American history, if I ever got that right. And why, if it's the worst quarter in American history, I don't understand why we're still where we are today with the market. Like if we go back to ES and look at that, we had a big drop there, but we come down. How are we rallying so much right here? It's got to be the Feds. I don't know. My guess is as good as yours, I guess. And if we go back to the 15. The 15 is still trying to sell off right there, so I think overnight we're going to sell off pretty big. Got NG. NG ended up selling off today. It's holding right here on this channel. And if we go back to, go back to 1 hour, you can see it better. You've got two channels here. You've got one up here and one down here, and this is more of it looks more like a bear flag because this is coming down your pole, then here's your flag. But it's also trying to stay on this other channel. So we've got two channels working together, and I guess over time we're going to find out which one it is. If this keeps on dropping down, it's probably not paying any attention to this one, but if it bounces off here, then it's probably going to be off of this one and then keep on going. So we'll have to wait on that one another day to see what that's going to do. My feeling is it's going to go up, but I don't know if it will in the next month. We got NQ, same as ES. It's selling off. So if you're in any of the Qs in there, then you're coming down right now. And then let's go down here. Let's look at, let me look at VIX. VIX has been selling off the last several days, but with the market going to be going down, VIX is going to start going up, I'm sure. I had puts on this, very few, like a couple $100 worth that expire tomorrow. That's fine compared to the puts I'm in right now. That is a minuscule amount of money. So I don't like to lose money, but there's very little. We bought those a month out, and we thought that the market would never be down this far in a month, so we only bought a month. That's why your time is important when you buy. We discuss all that in the Discord channel to explain how far out that you need to go and so forth. So if you're not part of it, join us. You'll learn a lot. Let's go to Walmart. Walmart, we've got so many patterns here, and I tell you what, it has not been following ES at all, but it followed it today. It's actually followed it the last couple of days. This right here, ES was going up, Walmart comes down. ES was going down, Walmart went up. Now, it don't know what to do. And Walmart should be going up because they're selling out of everything. I mean, the shelves are just, they can't get them stocked quick enough. I mean, they're buying it off of the carts as they stock it. If they just sold toilet paper alone, they would make more money than anybody because you can't hardly find toilet paper. I found some at Sam's here at the beach, and they had just got a big shipment in, and they were giving one big old box to each customer. So I got lucky and got me a big old box. So I got stuff to wipe with. It's going to be good. Let's see. We go back to, let's look at ABT. This is the one that is the new test kit for the coronavirus. This is the company making it. I got in puts yesterday, or not puts, but calls yesterday. And the reason I got in is because it, is going to keep on going up. They're going to announce the test results for the FDA. I think one of our members said on Friday. So once they announce that and it's good, this is going to explode because everybody's going to want to own stock in ABT, Abbott Laboratories. So this is a good one. As far as our option price and strikes and all that stuff, we had all discussed that in the Discord, and we post that in our Discord callouts, and a bunch of people got in this. So a bunch of us going to make some money on this one. Look at AMD. We didn't look at that the other day. It sold off all day. I think pretty much about any stock I pick up is going to be a sell-off. If you look at the Norwegian, I ended up buying calls right in here, and I had that order made ahead of time and I forgot about it, I wouldn't have bought it because the cruise lines are going to not do very well for a while, but I ended up buying it. It will pay off in the long run, but it's going to be a while. Netflix ought to be going through the roof because that's all you can do now. You can't even walk outside hardly. So you got to buy, you get a membership to Netflix, and it keeps on going up. So I'll probably go in and get some more calls on that this week and just ride that out. I sold mine. I think it was right in here where I sold mine. So I actually sold at a good time because this would have killed my premium. But I wish I would have got in again right here on Wednesday, but I didn't. So Netflix is going to be a good one. Very bullish on. Let's see here. Look at Carnival Cruise Line, see what it did today. Selling off, that's no doubt. All the cruise lines are going to sell off right now. So if we go up and look at Apple, see what it did. Apple's selling off. I'm glad because I'm in puts on that. So that's actually good for me. I think Apple will continue to sell off for a good while. We added another one, Six Flags. I think right now it's kind of iffy if I would get in it. I'd want to see what it does on this channel. But I think long term, I think Six Flags is going to be good. For me right now, I'm not doing it. And then AT&T surprisingly sold off. I thought it would actually hold, but it sold off with the market. I think about anything in the market right now is going to sell off because of the coronavirus. There's going to be a lot of companies have to pull back on a lot of things. Let's look at Target. Target actually sold off right there. I thought Target would do better. I thought retail with like Walmart's, Targets, things like that, where people are shopping to buy necessities, I thought they would actually continue to go up, but they're not. Tesla ended up selling off like we thought, and then now here it is kind of coming up a little bit. I guess it just sold off with the market. This right here was with the market as well. So Tesla's actually following ES. So whatever ES is doing is probably what Tesla's going to do. Him giving away those ventilators and stuff to the government, I guess did not help. And I'll look at Uber, and then I'm going to call it. This one's consolidating across, so that channel is actually wrong. It broke it, and it is making, actually let me just delete it. This one is actually going right across the top, and then coming right across the bottom. Oops. There we go. So this is actually channeling, and it's not coming down. When it pulled out of here, that told us it was in a channel, so our pattern was incorrect. One fella in our Discord group asked if I adjust the trend lines and stuff as it moves, and I said yes. You always adjust, because if you don't, your pattern's wrong. You always want to keep on adjusting to make sure that you're staying within what the pattern actually is. And sometimes you'll have the pattern totally wrong. It won't have played out enough in order for you to do it, so you see something else when it's really not. So that's the only bad thing about patterns. You got to really look at them. And let's see. I'm going to go back to ES, and we'll call it a night. I'm going to keep these as short as I can. A lot of people don't like to have to listen to this forever. And right now, I think we are... I don't see the time. We're 23 minutes into it. So I'm going to try to keep them 15-20 minutes or so. ES is still kind of hanging out right there. Let me go back to a 5-minute chart, see. We've got, it's coming down. It's just kind of going across. This will probably sell off. Once it breaks that yellow trend line, then I think that's going to go pretty quick. If we go back so you can see what that yellow trend line is, it is that broadening wedge pattern that we had on the weekly. It's this yellow line right here. So when we drop out of there, it's going to take off pretty good, I would think. So that's where that is, and we're in this bullish channel, or bullish channel, but it's a bear flag. And now that we've come out of here, once we get past that, we're just going to keep on dropping. I believe that we've got some support and resistance lines in here, but I think our target's probably going to be down here minimum. But I really still think it's going to be the at least here, but I think it's going to go to the 1709 area. And that's not going to happen tomorrow. That's going to happen over the course of a couple of weeks. Some of the news that I've received is that April is going to be worse than March. and tomorrow's April 1st. So it looks like it might fool us. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. I am very, very bearish on this right now, and I won't be bullish until I see either a double bottom or a good support. So I will not be buying any more calls for a long time. The calls I've got are long, and I bought them that way on purpose because I figured something like this would happen. But I got good deals on them, so I held out. I actually bought SPY calls for 2 cents today. Crazy. So that's where we are with that. I think that in the long run, we're going to be fine. Coronavirus is short term. They are working diligently on it, and I don't think it's anything to fear about. I think you just, take care of your family. Stay home. Don't worry about things. Just don't spend any money on anything other than necessities. Keep your bank account, put up. Don't carry a lot of cash in your house because you never know what people will do to steal or whichever. The banks are going to be fine. We're not going to have to worry about banking or nothing like that. So I think a lot of people are worried about a lot of things that really aren't going to happen. I think after probably realistically, I think 45 to 60 days, we're going to be kind of back to normal. 30 days, I think, is short term, and I just don't think that we're going to be there in 30 days. But they have made it 30 days that we just need to stay home. Don't go to these huge gatherings and stuff, and don't be hugging on people, shaking their hands and stuff. Don't go to other people's houses. Just stay home. Enjoy your family, and take it easy. I stay home most of the time, and I really like being home. My wife and I, we just sit around and talk about this or that, and we enjoy it. So instead of being on the fast pace, start looking more at your family, taking care of them, and just keeping a good head on your shoulders and stay safe. And I will, see you in the morning on the market brief. And please like, share, and subscribe. I got several people watching. If you'd all like, I'd really appreciate it. And let's get some subscribers on here. I'll see you guys in the chat that's on my Discord. The others, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great night and go green.